What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers took a loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And obviously, at this point, we want to win every single game that's possible. But this isn't, in my opinion, full panic mode yet. I had this game slated as a loss. If you've been following along, I said that I thought that they would lose 3 games along this way. The last 13, 14 games, I thought that they would lose to the Milwaukee Bucks, which they actually ended up winning. So glad to be wrong in that area. The Indiana Pacers on the road, which they did lose, and then I said that they would lose to one of the Cavs or Minnesota Timberwolves. Said you got to get the Cavs game. That's a game that is very important because if you win that first game, then you're not in this sense of desperation going into the Minnesota game. Lakers got the Cavs game done and unfortunately lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves. LeBron James didn't play in that game. Obviously, we could have used him in that game if he played. Is this game different? Also, Anthony Davis ended up going down. Now, hopefully it's nothing too major with Anthony Davis. I guess he re-injured his eye from the Golden State Warriors matchup a ways back in which he originally got hurt. Hopefully he'll be fine. Hopefully he'll bounce back because we have 3 games left. Golden State Warriors, the Memphis Grizzlies, and then the New Orleans Pelicans. You have to win all 3 of those games. You win all 3 of those games, the Lakers should still be in great shape. I still fully believe that they will get the 7th or 8th seed. The 6th seed is very likely out of the question. Now, it's still not impossible, but you already needed a bunch of dominoes to fall that were very unlikely to fall anyway, and now it just makes it that much more unlikely. But the 8th seed is still very much in reach, right? You still have the Pelicans, you still have the Sacramento Kings. Those 2 teams, I think, are the most likely for the Lakers to overtake. I think those are the 2 teams that they have games against one another, like they play Phoenix Suns, right? Like there's all kinds of different possibilities in which the Lakers can overtake those 2 teams. More likely than not, they're going to lose 1, if not 2 games. Pelicans will very likely lose at least 1 game the rest of the way, and then they play us, which if we handle business, and that'd be 2 games, and then we leapfrog them there. But the margin for error was already non-existent. Well, now it's even more non-existent. But again, it's not full panic mode. You have to have LeBron James and Anthony Davis play the rest of the way, right? You got to figure it out. You get elbowed in the eye, go slap on a Band-Aid, put on a goggle, and let's go, right? Whatever you got to do. LeBron James, you have the flu, well, throw up in a bucket on the basketball court, whatever it takes, right? At this point, you got 3 games left. You cannot afford to lose those games, right? I said 1 game, right? You had 1 loss. That was it. That's all you get. And now they just took that loss. You lose any more, right? Like if the Lakers go and they lose to the Golden State Warriors, enjoy the 9th seed, in my opinion. Could they still technically get into the 8th or whatever? Sure. But more likely than not, it's extremely unlikely at that point because now you're asking teams to lose 3-4 games, which is just, again, it's very unlikely. But the Lakers also need to avoid 3-way ties because if the Lakers get a 3-way tie, and it's one of the reasons why I was so adamant about how I wanted the Phoenix Suns to beat the Pelicans. And of course, the Pelicans ended up winning the 1 game we needed them to lose. And Phoenix, they've been running through everybody, but we finally needed them to win a game. Guess what? They ended up losing. And the reason for that was because out of the fear of a 3-way tie, which now, guess what? That is that much more likely. Because if Phoenix loses 2 more games the rest of the way, the Pelicans, right, all of a sudden you get, say, even Sacramento, right? You start getting into 3-4-way ties, and let's say 3 or 4 teams all have 34 losses. Well, now you start getting into those division tiebreakers. Unfortunately, the Lakers lost to the Sacramento Kings all 4 times. And look, the Lakers did this to themselves, if we're being honest, right? Not winning, like even just the Sacramento games, the 2 Sacramento games recently that the Lakers lost. You win both of those games, which were desperate, and we talked about it, and we talked about how they were much must-wins. You win those 2 games, well, guess what? You're in a much different position right now. You're the AC. You're in control, right? The problem is the Lakers don't really control their destiny as much anymore. right? Teams are still going to lose. Teams still play each other, still going to have it. But there is now a potential possibility to where the Lakers do end up falling into the 9th seed. And there's several ways that could happen. Where if the Lakers ended up winning and beating Minnesota, then you can't finish worse than 8th. So this was a huge opportunity for the Lakers and a very important thing that kind of needed to happen for them that they just ended up dropping the ball on. And it's unfortunate, right? Because the Lakers have been basically blazing the last 2.5 months. Even recently, even with this loss, they've only lost 2 out of the last 11 games. So they're 9-2 in their last 11 games. Like, that is massive. And in any other normal circumstance, any other normal situation, the Lakers would probably be a top 5 seed at worst. But fortunately, the West is just so impactful. It's just so talented this year, and it really is a big rock fight for all these teams that are trying to fight over seeding and position themselves. Okay, we don't want to play this team. We really don't want the Lakers in the playoffs, so hey, maybe a guy sits. We play the Lakers now, that guy gets to play, right? It's how it goes. But again, one game at a time. You got the Golden State Warriors coming up on Tuesday. You got to handle business. You got to lock down. You got to be focused. You got to be ready. Right? The Warriors are as desperate as you are. So they're going to be coming. They're going to be doing everything they can to go rattle off this win. They're not going to want to risk, if they can overtake the Lakers and have home court in that first play-in game, they're going to do it, right? Like, they would love to finish at least the 9th seed. So that way they kind of feel like it's a win. So that way they at least have home court in that first matchup. And then, you win that one and you go into the second matchup and you're on the road, but you're coming off of a little confidence, right? Where the Lakers, if they were to get the 9th, 10th seed, can they beat the Warriors? Absolutely. Right? Can they then, even if, let's say they play Sacramento, could they then go and beat Sacramento? Absolutely. One, Malik Monk is a huge blow for Sacramento, right? Two, I also think playoffs and a regular season game are very different things, right? LeBron, Anthony Davis, guys in general are going to pick it up a little more, be a little more intense. Right? There's just different factors. But the Lakers could play as perfect of a game as possible and still end up losing. Right? Like, again, the Warriors with Steph and Clay and everyone, the Lakers could shoot 70% from the field and 40% from 3, but they don't take a bunch of threes, right? And Steph and Clay and all these guys just shoot the lights out and you still lose, right? Or it's a tight game and Steph hits a game winner or something like that. It's just the problem with the in-season tournament one and done style is what you see in, the March Madness, and you see it in, the NFL and everything. The best team doesn't always win. In a 7-game series, the Lakers probably beat the Warriors in 5-6 games, but in reality, can the Warriors, say the Lakers could beat the Warriors 9 out of 10 times, that's great. But if that one time is that play-in game, again, you don't have to be the best team, you just have to be the better team that night. So that's the problem. That's the risk of being the 9th or 10th. Where at least if you're in the 7th or 8th, if you do have that kind of fluke game, you still have a chance to bounce back and end up being the 8th seed, right? And I know a lot of people, but what, you play Denver and you do this. At this point, like, we don't have the luxury of trying to avoid anybody. We don't have the luxury of, we need to do. No, we just can't, right? If you got to play Denver in the first round, you got to play Denver in the first round. You're going to have to play them eventually, right? And if my options are missing the playoffs or playing Denver, guess what? Sign me up for Denver. I'll gladly take them. But the Lakers, unfortunately, are in this position, a lot of their own doing. You got to credit the rest of the teams in the West Conference for doing their job also. The West has just been ridiculous this season. But look, I still am totally comfortable with the Lakers right now. If you follow this channel, follow me, follow, As It Stands Lakers, right? And you've heard me time and time again talk about how they're probably going to lose this game, but it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Sky's not falling. Chicken Little, right? All that stuff, right? So just trust the process. understand that many of these teams still play each other. The Lakers are still right in the thick of it. You got the one loss out of the way. Good. Okay. Well, now no more losses. Got to win outright. Got to win. So basically, you got to win your next 4 games, right? Because you got to win 3 games in the regular season, get into that 8th seed, and then win that 8th seed game. Now you move into 7th and you play whoever it is, and you're off to the races. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? You disappointed in the game, which I imagined you are. We all are. It sucks. Look, and I'm not trying to downplay the loss or anything like that. I just don't think the sky isn't falling yet, but it's getting a little cloudy, right? So anyway, again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.